Hello, everyone, and happy International Day of Light. It's my pleasure to be presenting to you in the Change Champion series, Leading a Brighter Future in Photonics. Thank you to the IEEE Photonics Society and OSA for this collaboration. Today, I would like to share how I'm working to champion change through action. Let's get started. My name is Stanley Ikpe, and I'm an engineer and researcher at NASA Langley Research Center here in Hampton, Virginia. In my role as aerospace technologist, I'm fortunate to work on a number of different technologies, so there's never a dull moment. I actually really like the word technologist in a more general sense, since I love to study new things and keep up with the ever changing world of technology, from consumer electronics to industrial hardware. I think it's quite the suiting title. I'm always envisioning ways to use emerging technologies to build more impactful systems. I'm a self proclaimed multi potentialite, meaning that I have a lot of varying interests. I like to think of it as having a keen sense of awareness and being able to adapt to fast changing trends. I graduated from the University of Missouri, where I completed my Ph.D. in electrical and computer engineering with a focus on mid infrared sensors and devices. And more recently, I became the Associate Vice President of the Young Professionals Group for the IEEE Photonics Society. This opportunity has provided me with a number of chances to network and engage students and young professionals alike at events such as this one. The core of our mission as young professionals is simply to provide professional development and networking for those within the photonics community. We achieve this through a number of initiatives such as online learning, mentoring, and events such as this one. So, a question that I often receive is, what exactly does a NASA engineer do anyway? A lot of people tend to think that we all work in control rooms, such as this iconic mission control in Johnson Space Center, where the historic Apollo missions were monitored. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case. Though I am not running trajectory simulations in mission control, I do, however, get a chance to work on a lot of cool hardware systems for space applications. Over my career thus far, I've had the chance to design, build, test, and deploy a lot of very cool hardware for space missions, including power processing units for extreme environments, LiDAR systems, and Earth observing satellites. I'm currently working as the lead electronics engineer on an instrument capable of sensing aerosols and atmospheric gases from space. Pretty cool stuff if I do say so myself. Working on these various projects has exposed me to a number of emerging and critical technologies that's grown my expertise and piqued my interest in electronics engineering. I consider my work very gratifying simply because it requires me to constantly learn, and it's something I just love to do. In addition to my technical work, I make a dedicated effort to engage with the public in a number of different ways. I take a three-tiered approach by being involved with outreach, volunteering, and mentoring. Outreach in a broader sense is simply communicating to inform the public of the work and initiatives and opportunities. Next, I attempt to build a stronger sense of trust and community through my volunteering. This volunteering includes both community building activities, such as park restorations and community cleanups, and technical roles such as managing small business proposals or leading student teams in programs such as the NASA Community College Aerospace Scholars. Lastly, I focus on mentoring in a number of different aspects, mainly through informal communications with past interns and students who constantly ask me for lessons learned or guidance on navigating some of the stresses that we're all too familiar with in grad school. One of the most beneficial mentoring experiences that I've had in recent memory was when I was first starting out at NASA Langley. I was actually matched with a mentor with similar interests. through a federal program known as Pathways. My mentor at the time, and still today, showed me the importance of continuing to sharpen my technical skills, but also stepping outside of my comfort zone into leadership. Exposed me to the administrative side of project work to see things from a different perspective. It really helped me to begin to think beyond short term technical goals and take a step back and observe more strategic goals to tackle grander challenges. One of these challenges I face is finding representation in the workplace. What motivates me to be an active volunteer and advocate for diversity are these very stark statistics. Some of these numbers become even more alarming when we break them down across racial and ethnic groups. Knowing this moves me to use my voice to encourage and support others who may be aspiring to enter science, technology, engineering, and math roles. So, why are these statistics important? Studies have shown the strategic benefits of more diverse workforces. A study from the Boston Consulting Group suggested that companies with a diverse workforce are often better innovators and outperform the competition. Furthermore, more diverse teams can also make companies more profitable and give employees a better outlook on their individual job as well as the organization as a whole. And as I'm sure we can all run down the list of all the downfalls of lacks of diversity, chief amongst them being a loss in potential revenues and workers, less than ideal performance, and the dreaded groupthink that has placed so many organizations in very precarious positions. So, what qualifies me to be a change champion? I think simply because I'm an active and involved worker toward the change I want to see, and I'm always looking to encourage and inspire others to take up the mantle with me. Part of this is being willing to step outside of my comfort zone and take on new challenges and responsibilities in areas where my likeness would not otherwise be represented. Many of my mentors often respond to me, "What are you going to do about it?" when I observe less than ideal circumstances, challenging me to step up to the plate. So I think this is a very fitting quote. Knowing is only half the battle. Acknowledging a problem exists does not necessarily bring about change unless there's action behind it. And so, when I'm forming teams or selecting interns, I'm consciously thinking about these things. What I've learned in my short time involved in these roles is simply to stay informed, acknowledge the issues at hand, and be willing to do something about it. Encourage others to participate in areas where you think they can have an impact. Sometimes it's just that little boost of confidence of someone else believing in you that can help you get over the hump. And if that doesn't work, challenge someone or challenge yourself. I don't think there is a greater motivator than hearing that you can't do something or you don't belong. So, in closing, I would like to leave you with two quotes from two of my very favorite people. Both geniuses in their own right. I can honestly say that in every aspect of my work, I try to align myself with these two principles. And so, with that, I would like to say thank you for joining us in this Change Champion series.